So let's talk about empowerment today. Empowerment. What a strong word. It means the authority and power giving to somebody. Now, who is the best person to give it to? You, yourself, right? But we all know if authority and power is giving into the wrong hands, that means to the wrong person, it is devastating. I'll give you an example. I have a lot of corporate clients. So when there's one corporate, and in this corporate everybody is allowed and welcome for one-on-one sessions. So one person came, I call him Ahmed for now, and he came, this was just happening yesterday, and he got a rating from his leader. Now, I remember it was not the first time Ahmed came to me, earlier as well, he was really frustrated because of his leader. So earlier his leader was a colleague of his, and then she got promoted from one day to the other. She became from a self-leader, a people leader, without training by the way, or not much training at least. And he felt completely unfairly treated. He was frustrated. So maybe she, his leader, had a couple of ego issues or being very competitive or whatsoever. So he didn't feel that he is led in a proper way. And he talked to his colleagues, he talked of course to that leader, and he talked also to the leader of the leader, and after weeks and weeks and weeks, still nothing happened. And guess what? Ahmed took also this entire stress home and spread it out there. So it was very, very clear that if nothing works out at all anymore, he had this idea to quit, to change, because there's no money worth to undergo all that stuff. So he's paid for working and not to get all that stuff to make him frustrated and devastated. So how can she become a great people leader, or anybody else on this earth? Well, it starts all with yourself, to become a great self-leader. What I mean by that? Well, it is looking into things which you love to actually ignore and suppress, putting it under the carpet. Now the problem is, if you suppress so many things, they pop up here and there in a complete weird way, because you can't really relate to that anymore where it actually came from. It is important to get rid of that accumulated baggage you're carrying on throughout the years, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. It is working on your huge ego issues, or any kind of ego issues when they are an obstacle. So you have to take care of that. Or being highly competitive, or understanding where you actually come from. I'm talking in my upcoming book about that. You as a reader, go through all that, time, the moment you've been born until the moment today and now. How you became that person you are today, how you got molded. It is checking your parents, your siblings, the friends you had, the environment, the culture, the job you picked up, and. All the instances, whatever happened throughout your life, to become the person you are today. Why? Because it's important to know where you come from in order to change, of course. It is also about the balance in your life. And I say that, balance in your life, and not using the terminology work-life balance, because it indicates there's work and there's life. But actually it is one. So we have to treat it as one. What I mean by that? I'm not talking about how to balance and put all these things you want together and make it work. It's not about this multitasking. And I give you a perfect example about myself. Many, many years ago, I studied and I worked full-time. I had an adorable dog I had to take care of. I had friends. I wanted to pick up a new language, Spanish, and I had an amazing motorbike to ride, which I love to, of course. And I did this for a couple of months. And some fine day I sat down, I reflected, and I felt really unhappy and unsatisfied. I was like, okay, wait a minute, let's check out. What can I do? because I thought there are just too many things I want to do. So what can I do? Studying, I can't cut, continue. Work, I can't cut, continue. My dog, I don't want to cut, continue. My friends, well, I found a way to combine that. So I took my dog for a walk, of course, and I took also my friends along with that. So every night we went to some different places, some different village or a park nearby or in the forest, just different areas, and we had an amazing time, immense good talks. My dog had fun, so everything was good, so I combined that. Spanish, I cut because it was not necessary at this time. And riding my bike, well, I drove at least to my working place. So I was quite happy with that. So it is important to cut off things and not trying to do it all. You have to be picky. And what I mean by that as well in your balance in life, how much time do you spend for your work and how much time do you give for your personal life? What is me time? Do you know what me time is? And do you really spend me time frequently? And by the way, I don't mean frequently once in a year or once in a month. I mean actually every single day. When was the last time you hang out with your friends for no particular reason, just like that? And how much do you take care of your loved ones? When was the last romantic dinner with your life partner, spouse, any loved one? Or let's say, just a dinner. How much time do you devote for your health, for your well-being? When I talk about health, let me divide into the physical and the mental part. Physical part means going for regular health checkups, going to the gym, lifting heavy weights, doing cardio exercises, indoors, outdoors. It is also going for some steam, sauna, massages. And by the way, massages are not a nice to have, but a necessity. Furthermore, joining some classes like Pilates or dance classes, and last but not the least, joining some sport activities like cricket, squash, badminton. Apart from the physical part, the mental aspect is super important too. Like your meditation every morning and night. And you know, in the meditation, my morning meditation, I thought of you and I thought what to tell you. And I thought, yes, I have to mention that because it's highly underestimated. I drafted something for you. And this is, I hope you can read my art, to breathe deeply. So deep breathing empowers you to be on top of your game. You have far more energy, and thus your quality of the day is far higher. Also, mental health is to understand your mindset, how you're thinking, and to coordinate your thoughts. To identify thoughts are not really helpful. They created actually an obstacle in your life, and you understand now all obstacles are self-created. And it's also highly underestimated, I guess, to have great, healthy relationships. Very important. Also very important is to stay interdependent, to take care of your own income, to stay autonomous. What I mean by that? I'm interdependent because I'm even dependent on the lorry driver bringing the groceries to the supermarket, because otherwise the shelves are empty. So we are all interdependent with quite everybody. What I mean by that is to stay interdependent is to take care of your own income. And I don't mind how much money your life partner or spouse earns, how many kids you have, how many other responsibilities you have at home, but you should be able to take care of your own income, regardless what you do with that money. This goes usually mainly to women, because mainly women stay back home taking care of kids and all the household responsibilities. There are a lot of creative and smart ways to take care of income. Important is it because of your mental health, of your confidence, and you just feel great about yourself and the world. So it's also keeping you in balance. By the way, I talk about self-leadership also in my book, Change Me. Did you read it yet? If not, I suggest you to read it because you will benefit from it highly. the last point, but definitely not the least point, is to be affirmed, acknowledged, and appreciated. And guess what? If you receive that, you are also able to give it. I mean, the question is, who comes first and who was first, hen or egg? So if you start, usually you get this also in return. If you don't get this in return, I think you're surrounded with the wrong people. So it is important because you get a feedback from outside. And important is the feedback from inside, from within, about yourself, but also how you've been received by others. With all that, you become a great self-leader. But here, to become a great people leader, you have to bridge that. How? Simple. By training. A professional training is needed. Why? It is to understand people's strengths, weaknesses, how to communicate with them, how to demand, how to encourage them, how to give them space and freedom, and so forth. So this needs a professional training. So with all that, last few words, empowerment, that means to stay interdependent, to become a great self-leader, being on top of your game, and to undergo a professional, very good, highly quality training, and then lead people in the most effective and beneficial way. And this is not the end. I want you to lift them up, to help them to grow as well, to become great self-leaders, and one fine day also to become great people leaders. Your takeaways from this video clip might be: empowerment starts within yourself. Second, read Change Me. It will change you, it will benefit you, for sure. And third, undergo a professional training from being an amazing self-leader to be a great people leader. If you want us to conduct a workshop, a training like that for the corporate you're working for or with, send us an email, give us a phone call. The details are in this description of this video clip. And furthermore, I want you to follow us on YouTube and all the social medias to stay updated. And nevertheless, I want to see you live and in color soon. Take care. Bye.